Action. Okay, welcome to M Plus TV. This is the Bonga na Brayo TV show, and today I'm hosting a political analyst by the name Shadrach Polibengo. He's our residential political analyst on the M Plus TV show. So I'm going to be interviewing him today about the current affairs of the country. So Mr. Shadrach Polibengo, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for welcoming to the show. I really thank for you for calling me to this show. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mr. Shadrach Polibengo, so let me welcome you again to the show. Thank you for coming and for agreeing to our interview. So today we're going to talk about the current status of the country. So far we have been experiencing some protests in the country for the past few weeks. What can you tell us about the protest?
I think about the protests, we have seen the protests in the country. People are complaining about the high cost of living. It's true, but I think there's a better way of raising our grievances. I think as a nation, we as a nation, as Kenya, the international community has been seeing us that we are as a developing nation on how we deal with our things. So I don't think it's a better way for us to go through demonstration. I think there is a need for dialogue. Yeah.
When you say dialogue, what do you mean? Since we have been seeing the Azimio leaders protesting about the high cost of living, the economy is bad, Kenyans are suffering. What do you mean by dialogue? Tell us more. We Kenyans are watching. We want to know about the dialogue that the Kenya Kwanza brigade are denying to go to dialogue.
I think there is a need when we come to Charles about the country. I think there's this group that must work together to push these leaders to go into dialogue. One, we have church. Two, we have elders. I think those people should not remain silent when these things are happening. We need to see them, pushing them to go to dialogue.
Talking about elders, we saw yesterday on the news, the elders, the church leaders came. They also protested about the community, the violence that experienced the Muslims, the Nubians. The church was banned. The mosque was banned. So what about engaging the elders, since we are experiencing both sides are being affected?
I think as a nation we need to come and mature. We need to educate our youth. You know, this thing is working politically. Maybe you might never know that maybe the one group was maybe supported to do so, but I don't think that is a good thing for a nation. As a nation, we need to come together to speak together. We need to work together. So I think we need to stop about that thing that was. I condemn that thing that happened. The churches were banned, and you know that thing is very bad for a nation, especially this nation. Kenya is a developing nation, and as a nation, this nation of ours. Last year we had an election and we had a good election. There was no any kind of protest in the election. I think we had a very good election, and now I think when we come to this thing of high cost of living, we need to address this matter in a good way, not just in a political angle, but in a way that benefits the common man.
Political issues.
Yeah.
The Kenya Kwanza government promised the Kenyans during the campaigns that is going to reduce the pay of unga. 6 months down the line, since their regime, the price of unga has risen from 100 shillings to 230 shillings. Can you explain to us how is the government going to balance the issue of unga and enabling that the current economy is bad? Kenyans are dying hungry. You have seen in the news, people are suffering. People are tired of the Kenya Kwanza government.
Thank you very much for that good question. I think when we talk about the price rising going up, we have seen this thing. And I think this is a new government. This is a new government that we have just elected last year. I think we need to give them time. We need to give them time for them to settle this thing. You know, you can't take a government and then you change everything at once. You know, it's not that easy. That government, we need to give them time. I think.
Talking of time,
yeah,
they just said after we assume power, we are going to reduce the cost of unga, the cost of living. The country is facing trouble. Kenyans are dying out there. How are we going to expect this economy to be stabilized if you're telling us to give you more time? Yet, during your campaigns, the campaigns of the Kenya Kwanza, they promised Kenyans to reduce the high cost of living.
I think that matter should be resolved, but to my opinion as a political analyst, I think it is a better way for this opposition and the government to come together, so that it's good to have an opposition government.
Yeah.
But you know, it will not be done in such a way that people will demonstrate. You know, when people are demonstrating, people are losing life. I think there's a better way of raising our grievances, because if you can speak, if you can speak together.
Sorry to interrupt, but what better way of reducing the grievances of Kenyans if that's the only way Kenyans are suffering, and that's the only way we are Kenyans are expressing our grievances through the protest?
I think I'm trying to say that we should give the government time, because when the government should be given time. Listen to me.
What time are you
listen to me
first?
first.
The government, the Kenyans are suffering out there.
Listen to me first. I know people are suffering, but you see, the government that has been elected earlier on, it has not started working very well, because they need to arrange first before they start working. You know,
they have not started working very well. Yet in their campaigns they promise Kenyans they are going to be 100%. What do you mean they are not working very well?
You know, when you are starting a government, you can't just start a government and then you level everything. You see, you go step by step. There are steps to be followed.
They promise the Kenyans in the campaign that they're going to levelize everything.
But there's a step to be followed, and they need time. They need time to work on that.
What do you mean by they need time? What time? Kenyans are hungry. Lives are lost. The bandits are taking over the country.
When we talk about the security matter, I think that security matter is what is bringing back this nation back. But we need to work as a leader. You know, being a leader, we need to work together, so that we can bring for Mwananchi, not only see but that we are talking about Kenya Kwanza, but we are talking about the nation at the large, because this nation is governed by this Kenya Kwanza government. That Kenya Kwanza government is the government of all Kenyans.
Yes, Kenya Kwanza government, led by His Excellency William Samuel Ruto, is the government of the day.
Yeah.
And during the campaigns, they promised Kenyans they're going to reduce the high cost of living, they're going to make sure security is well. It's 6 months down the line, Kenyans are suffering. The current security status of the country is deteriorating.
I think there's maybe we have a problem with our way of accepting things as leaders. You know, this government.
This government is having a way of accepting things as leaders. Yet they are the ones who took on.
We've gone to election last year. It was not too far. I think it's 6 months ago. About 6 months ago. So 6 months we have gone to election, and people accepting that some people are elected.
Yes.
So there's nothing like in this nation or Africa in the world. There's nothing like being that there's clear election or perfect election. The election is normally not fair for anyone. So
what do you mean it's not fair? Listen. Election is not fair for everyone.
I think election is not fair for everyone, especially for those who have contested. If you lose an election, you cannot be fair for that election. I think it's a perception and understanding of people to understand the way
you're talking to the live camera.
the,
You're talking to the Kenyans,
yeah,
and you're telling that Kenyans should learn to accept that the election are lost and it's not fair. What
we should learn.
You're talking
Listen,
to the nation.
We should learn.
You're
We should learn. We should learn.
Listen,
we should learn to accept the fact that when we go to election, when a person is elected, we need to work with that person. You can't just stay with that grudge of being a political that is coming from a different political party. We can't work with it because it's the government of the day. We need to work with that person in order for us to get the
what about
the development.
What about the 8 million Kenyan, 6.4 million Kenyans who voted for Baba? How do you expect to live with the fact that they didn't accept the fact that the president won? How do you expect the Kenyans to, the supporters of Raila Odinga to accept? We have to move on. I think you should accept because it's not going to. You should accept because the government is already in charge, and you cannot change things. We need to accept the fact, and we need to work with our government. We should not push our government to protest because our people will suffer. This leader will not suffer. Our people is the one who is suffering. Talking about when your business is being shut down by the protest of the people, protest for high cost of living. Who is going to give you that money to start again that business? And it's the same government that is pushing the people, the Kenyans, to go to the streets to protest against their rights, high cost of living. Why can't they just reduce the prices of unga, reduce the high cost of living? Kenyans are suffering. I think the government has not declined to do so, but they need dialogue. They need to talk together. And what do you mean by dialogue? Yet the deputy president is not in terms of dialogue. I think the current situation, you saw what happened. They need to work together. They need to work together. For what do you mean? What do you mean by working together? Just tell us. This is life. Tell us. Tell Kenyans. When I mean by working together is that the opposition should not stop criticizing the government, but it will not be an extent that it will affect the common wananchi, because the common wananchi, we as the common wananchi will not be affected by that, but that high politics of them. We should just be following a way that these people need to criticize the government so that the government can provide for us for a betterment. Thank you. Talking about criticizing the government, no one is criticizing the government, no one is opposing the government. Kenyans are out on the street demanding their rights. But there's a better way of demanding your right. You know, when we're going to demonstrate, not only everybody, when you attend a Mandamano, see what it nini. When you attend a Mandamano, see what it when you end up Mandamano, what it wanaenda kuandamana. Watu wanaenda dana tofauti. Unapata mtu mwingine maybe ni wezi, wanaenda wanavunja maduka ya watu. Talking about Mandamano. We saw on the news Kenyans are protesting. We had goons who are looting people's business. I can't say it's the goons from which side, since it's a national issue. But what's your take about the Mandamano so far, that now that His Excellency Raila Odinga has offered Mandamano to be twice a week, Monday and Thursday? So far, how do you take this Mandamano issue? I think this Mandamano issue, I first condemn that issue of people going to rob someone's property. You know, robbing someone's property is not a good thing as a nation. We should respect everyone's property, be it the common wananchi and the leader at large. But I think my take on this Mandamano, I think there's a need of calling off for this Mandamano. Why should the Mandamano be called off?
I think this Mandamano is causing the destruction of the properties. People properties being destroyed. Right now, many business people will be losing their capital. Maybe someone has acquired a loan and has put it in a business and is being destroyed through the demonstration. You see, that is a loss.
Talking about people taking loans. Yes, Kenyans are taking loans. Kenyans are trying to find a better way of surviving. That's true. But do you see this part of Mandamano not helpful for the Kenyans to put out their grievances, since the high cost of living is becoming a tough situation for the country?
But for my take, I think this Mandamano is not bad, but the way it's being done is not done in a good way. It's done in a violent. It's being carried out through violence and.
Remember, guys, we are live on Brian Goko. This is the political debate, and my host for today is Honorable Shadrach Walubengo. So let me ask you, Mheshimiwa, our residential political analyst.
Yes.
We have had protests in the country. Kenyans are living in hard times. We can't complain, yeah? Kindly tell us more about these issues about let's put it in the county level.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate about the Mandamano in the county level?
I think this Mandamano in the county level, especially in my county, in Trans Nzoia County, I think Trans Nzoia County is not that developed compared to other counties. So, and I've seen today in a news that the governor of Kisumu has just called Mandamano in Kisumu so that he can put that Mandamano in Nairobi. I think in Kitale we have not that developed that well because we are just behind. And I think if we are talking about Mandamano, there's destruction of property. And when you see the governor of Kisumu calling off Mandamano in Kisumu, he has just said that this Mandamano might distract their property in their county, so they want to maintain their county to be better off. So I want to encourage people.
So to cut you short, but talking about people maintaining their county, are they not supporting Azimio leader? Since Honorable Anyang has just put it clearly, he's calling off Mandamano in Kisumu to support Raila Odinga demonstrations in Nairobi. Is that not a part of supporting him? It's not just protecting his county.
I think when a person goes off in this county and go to do it in another county, you know, is protecting his county?
No.
It's protecting his county.
Why?
Because how can you left your county at there's in a new constitution, there's a devolution. You know, devolution of these counties, about these counties. And I think if the governor of Kisumu, he will have taken that Mandamano just in Kisumu, not in Nairobi.
So you suggest the Mandamano to be protested. What you suggest right now, that each and every county should protest in their own county and not be involved in Mandamano in Nairobi. So, meaning you're supporting Mandamano.
I'm not part of the
No,
I'm not part of that.
Side.
I'm not part of that.
No.
I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that.
The governor should just support Mandamano in his own county, not to go to another county. That means you're supporting Mandamano in every county.
I'm not part of that, but I'm just giving you a view about that thing. An opinion. That's just an opinion. Yeah.
So it's your opinion that each and every county should just support Mandamano. Yeah, you have not get it. You have not get it clear. No,
you have not get it. I think I've just said that according to the constitution, when you are when this thing is being done, you as a governor, as a president of a county level, you can't leave your county and going to exercise that process in another county. But I'm not part of supporting that Mandamano. What I'm trying to say to Kenya that we should call off that Mandamano and talk to our leaders. Talk to our leaders so that they can speak in one language so that we can work as a nation and move forward as a nation. That is what I'm trying to say.
So you suggest that the country should just move on?
I'm not saying like that. I'm saying that these people need to talk together so that we can see the way we can move as a nation. We can't just be fighting each other.
So you just suggest that
people are losing life because of this Mandamano. I think we should come together as a nation. We live together. We pass our grievances to our leader. There's a good way of passing our grievances to our leader. The way we are using this social media platform here, we can pass this thing through them. But through Mandamano, I don't think is a.
So you suggest you don't support Mandamano?
I don't support Mandamano at all.
You have just suggested that Kenyans should put their grievances through the online platform.
Is
that what you're suggesting?
There's many ways of doing that because
Is that a way you are suggesting that Kenyans should just put their grievances?
There is a social media. Yes. I've just put a problem. There's a social media. There's elected leaders. They can use them.
What if the elected leaders are not listening to Kenyans?
I think elected leaders have a role to play for wananchi. They must listen to the people who elected them. They can't stop listening from them. They will get advice from them and they will do it in a peaceful way, and as a nation we will move in a good way. But
remember, guys, we are live. This is the political debate. I'm having my residential political analyst, Honorable Shadrach Olbengo, and today on the topic we are discussing about the current affairs in the country. You can just give your opinions in the comment sections. You can also remember to follow the page and like the page for more updates to come. Back to you, Mheshimiwa.
Yeah.
You have just said you don't support Mandamano.
Yeah.
How best do you suggest that the government should reduce the high cost of living so that Kenyans can stop protesting?
I think the government, according to the way the people have just hosted the Mandamano countrywide, the government have just seen that problem. So if the government have seen that problem, they need to work on it. They can work on it so that they can at least reduce the high cost of living for the people, so that the people can enjoy their life. They can enjoy their country and they can be proud of Kenyans. Yeah.
So you suggested how best, since we saw in the news, His Excellency the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua mentioning that there's no maize in the country.
I don't think
there's no maize.
You know, just said publicly, according to me as a political analyst, to my opinion,
so I can't say that. How do you convince a person? I can't say that you say there's no maize in the country. How do you convince a country with no maize?
I think
Kenyans will die. Kenyans want maize.
I think
they want to
I think for me as a political analyst, that opinion, and I think every leader has his own opinion. Yes. But to me, I don't think that is true, because we as a Transoya, we are producing maize. And yes, I think there's maize in Transoya.
Okay, thank you, Mheshimiwa. You are cutting short on as we wrap up the conversation about the current affairs of the country. What do you suggest and what do you want to tell Kenyans as you talk to Kenyans?
My fellow Kenyans, I want to tell you that this nation is bigger than anyone else. So if we destroy this nation, we are the one who will suffer in this nation. So let us stay in peace. Let us love each other. And there's a many way of raising our grievances to our leaders. We have elected leaders who elected both at the county level and national government. So we need to talk with them. We need to raise our voice to them, to tell them our problem, and they should work for our problem, because we as a nation, we are a developing nation. Kenya is a developing nation in Eastern Africa, is Africa at large. This country is a country that is being mature ever since by the international community. I've seen Kenya as a nation that has grown, as the way we exercise our political democracy. 2022 election, it was peaceful, and we should continue with that peaceful way of handling our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Shadrack Olbengo.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, to subscribe to our page, M+ TV. And remember, this is the Bomber and Brian TV show. Stay tuned for more updates to come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.